Hi, this is Tom. Welcome to my channel. I'm going to discuss how to use AI for doing, let's say, a complicated task that involves some work. So I'm about to start a session which I expect will take, I always underestimate how long it'll take, but at least an hour. So I'll say 1 to 4 hours, let's say, somewhere in there. And what I want to do is spend a few minutes just to show how I'm going to approach this task to get things started. So the first thing that I did was to create a space where I can put documents related to the task. So the way I'm doing it is with Blogger software. And I'm using that because I can create a blog post, sorry, not post, a blog, a whole blog where I can put blog posts. And I'm not intending to publish these, but it's just a way that I can organize the documents that the work product that I'm going to include in the session. And other approaches would be you could use Google Docs. That would be an excellent approach. Or you could just set up a folder in your file system and just use Notepad. But just to have some place where you can put all the work product that you're going to be doing with your session. So I've got that set up. And then the next thing I started is the session. I'm using Gemini. And what I told it is that I'd like to start a project. Okay, and I said the project involves taking information which I got from another project and working with it in a different way. And I said, do you want to see the information first or do you want to discuss the presentation? And it said the information. Okay, so I did another app which was kind of similar. Similar in concept. I called it an Explorer app. This is a lot more complex. What I'm wanting to do is have a simplified version of that app. And so I have a document that I want to use, which is this one here. And I'm going to give it to Gemini. And what this is what I did was I did a deep research prompt with, or some, how do you say this? I did some deep research with O3, and this is, I'm giving it the result of the research that came, and it was structured in a very precise form, which I'll show. Okay, so this is the form here. It's going to be hard to make out here, but you see it has level 1, level 2, insight 1, insight 2, insight 3, and so on. Okay, so this is the form of the data, and then I'm wanting it to create a self-contained app for it. So I don't want to go on very long on this video. I just want to give the basic concepts. So what I'm going to do next is I have a standalone app that has the user interface that I want to use, and I'm just going to work with it to get it to use that user interface with this information. That's going to be my whole session. But what I wanted to convey as a way to go about it is, so the next thing that I'll do is I will go to the app that I have that I wanted to use for the interface, which is somewhere else. Anyway, what I'll do is I'll grab that app and I will paste it into the session, and then Gemini will have both the form of the data that I want and the UI that I want. And the point that I'm making is that at the beginning of the session, what one wants to do is to give it as much context as you can, because it's got 1 million tokens at least. So you can give it a lot of information and then front end that, because that at the beginning of the session, that's the first thing that I'm going to do. And then I'll work on explaining what I wanted to do. So those were the two main concepts that I wanted to share with you. I found this to be a very effective approach, and that is to set up a space. So I'm going to use this blog that I created. I don't have anything in here yet, but when it starts, giving me things back, then, and I have, well, I'll give an example of the sorts of things that I will include. So here I've got Gemini wrote a prompt for itself to start a new session. It's got information about the app that I was working on. It's got example documents that have the data. And here's a really good document. This is a really good one to show. All right, so this is a workflow document. So this will show all the steps involved in the process that I was working on. So these are the sort of documents that I will be creating and adding to my new blog to keep track of design documents, workflows, prompts, things like that. So the two main concepts are, one is create a space for your session that you can put all the useful information, both incoming and outgoing. It's going to give you things. You're going to give it things. And so you want to keep track of that information in the context of whatever you're trying to do in that session. And then the second suggestion would be, when you start the session, to front load the context. Because the more context, the better the context that the AI has, the better is going to be your results. Well, I hope you found these suggestions helpful, and thanks for watching, and until next time.